The Rodoni farm has always been right there, just off Highway 1. Perhaps you've driven by, or driven by 1,000 times. What makes this land special is that the Rodoni family farm has been a home and business, producing Brussels sprouts and artichokes since 1936, more than 70 years. As generations of Rodonis took a turn running the farm, these working fields appear much as they always have, producing annual crops and occasionally some theatrics with each turn of the calendar page, a silent witness to our regional history.
My grandfather immigrated from Italy in 1920, came to work on the North Coast, worked in the cattle and timber business and started farming Brussels sprouts on the North Coast. And then after he retired, his two sons, my dad and my uncle, took over the family farming operation, and then they are slowly scaling back and turning it over to my brothers and my cousins. So we're third generation farming family in the area. That house back there is the house where my grandparents lived until they moved into town, and then my mom and dad moved into that house when my grandparents moved into town. And so there was actually 3 generations that lived in that house, and so we lived there until we moved into town when I was 12. I have always known Santa Cruz County as being a farming community. When I think of the beach and I think of farming.
It's a beautiful place to work, beautiful place to farm. I enjoy coming to work every day. This facility right here is Sunset Farms, and Sunset Farms was started by my dad and my uncle. I grew up around here, you know, motorcycles and kind of free range of the place, and you know, here we are now, 2012, and I run this facility right here. This time of the year, it's fall, and we're starting our harvest. You know, we've kind of been in it now for 2 weeks, and we'll go till Christmas time. Oh, I love getting out here when the sun comes up. That's my favorite time. You know, I can go in my office, I can get my paperwork done, and then, you know, usually kind of wander out to the fields about the time the sun's coming up, and it's a beautiful place.
I just brought my daughter. We came out here and rode the horses on Sunday, and as we were riding through the fields, I said, how does it make you feel that you're riding through the fields that look the same and grew the same crops as your grandfather did 60 years ago? It's pretty amazing to think about that, still farming the same land.
And the Rodoni name extends into Monterey County as well, with Elio Rodoni farming this property near Moss Landing.
We moved on here in 1969. We leased an adjoining ranch, and I came down in 1969. My partner at the time operated the coast operation, and so I came down here and then just expanded from here. Bought an adjoining piece of property in the middle 60s, I guess, and just, you know, continued purchasing as we were capable and land came available. Then I brought my sons into it, you know, doing the strawberries and rotation and everything else. And so, you know, it's working out good.
You think it was good for your kids to grow up with this, you know, with
I think so.
this childhood?
Yeah, I think it was good for them, yeah. Especially since they seem to like the farming end of it. Both my sons are farming, and they enjoy it. So I think it was good for them. They stay out of trouble that way. They work hard and keep busy, and they stay out of trouble.
And your daughter's in the land business. She appreciates
Yeah.
all kinds of land and land use, and it seems to be helping her in her business.
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, she's doing great. She's a go-getter.
In the farming business, the men just have a natural career built in for them, just the transition. But the women, it was different. So we had to find our way in some other facet that interested us. And so it's interesting, my cousin is a real estate attorney, and then I ended up in the real estate business. To be able to live here full time, it's a pretty incredible thing.
I always enjoy going out on the wharf. Like to go out to Stag Narrows, have lunch, dinner. Just to take the drive down West Cliff, you know, that's just always something, you know, any time of the day you can really sneak in and do that. It's always just a nice ride. You go out of the area and you come back, it just always makes you appreciate the place a lot more.
There's so much to do. We've got all the state parks around us, some incredible hiking and biking trails. There's not many places where you can ride your horse or ride your mountain bike and look out over the bay and enjoy all this beautiful scenery that we have. As much as it's changed in town, you can come out here and it's like going back in time. It's still the same.
It's just the fact that you're right here on the coast and a beautiful setting and working out in the open.
Yeah.
You know, I could never sit behind an office all day.
Yeah.
I'm kind of getting out of it, but my son's the one that's got this going pretty good. So he's doing organic and everything else, and he's got a lot of things going on.
In this new millennium, the Rodonis have embraced new organic practices and found new markets hungry for their products. And that shift has also ensured that the land that has sustained their family so long may likely continue to produce until we're entertained by the images we gather today, as entertained as we are by those collected here over the years.
We've been successful all these years, and that's all I can say. A lot of hard work and and everything else, and having good people underneath you.
We're just trying to improve things and just make it better for years to come. It's hard work, but I feel fortunate to be able to do it here in such a beautiful place.
You could never get tired of that beauty.